Hello, and welcome to a brand new episode of S Gaming's playing Tom Clancy's Elite Squad. Today I prepared the whole storyline of Elite Squad. Action.
We had pushed back Umbra, but too many dangerous criminals had managed to escape. Just one of them was still on site. This is where we met Coda for the first time. Meanwhile, the situation was even worse than expected. Eagle One had intercepted a transmission between Umbra soldiers. They had come here to free one of their leaders. He instructed us to escort Coda back to HQ for interrogation. This prisoner would tell us what she knew. Time was playing against us. We had to hurry and follow the only lead we had. A potential facility they owned in Valletta, Malta. Before they left the building, Umbra tried to destroy as much evidence as they could. They clearly didn't want to leave anything for us to find. We had little chance to find something usable, but it was worth a try. In our first stroke of luck since I could recall, Anna found a file that looked promising in one of the devices we brought back. It was of course encrypted. The encryption proved too sophisticated for even Anna to break through. She only knew one expert that could help us crack the device. A phantom going by the name of G1U. Eagle One seemed sure someone could tell us where this guy was hiding. It was only a matter of time until we found out. After we took care of the Umbra officer, we found G1U and escorted him to safety. It seemed G1U had his own unresolved issues with Umbra. A couple of hours in, the first documents were decrypted. The device contained terabytes of information on the dollar flu virus, which had ravaged New York. There was all the data needed to cause another large-scale pandemic, except the virus strain itself. Max decided to gather everything he could on the virus to try and figure out what Umbra could have planned. At the same time, Umbra was attacking New York City. They were trying to get their hands on the virus strain, hidden in the base of operations of the SHD. We knew what we had to do. After putting up a fierce resistance, Umbra finally broke and dispersed in the streets of Manhattan. Anna suggested that we go after the leader commanding the assault on the city to make the most of the situation. We expected orders from Eagle One, but there was no sign of him. We immediately knew something was wrong. Two of us headed back to HQ to check on Eagle One, while the rest stayed behind to fortify the base of operations. Eagle One had disappeared, along with all of Jessica Candle's research on the virus. We had no clue where he could be. But we were about to find out. Coda had escaped, and she had taken Eagle One as a hostage. But she wasn't calling to negotiate his fate. She wanted us to see what she was about to do. Coda didn't waste any time. A single bullet, and it was all over. We had brought Umbra directly to the heart of Elite Squad. Coda had deceived us into bringing her all the information she needed, without having to lift a finger. She had waited for the right moment to make her escape with the virus strain, taking out our leader in the process. The situation was dire, but our mission wasn't over. Umbra was still trying to take over the city, and we had a chance to capture one of their leaders. Meanwhile, Scott left no room for error. He gave orders to ensure Coda would not get away. This officer was our only lead now. We had to find a way to make him talk. But he was tough, and the task wouldn't be easy. Time was playing against us. We had to be quick. We had to be persuasive. We all knew that playing by the rules would not win this fight. Kavera hadn't lost time. Umbra's leadership was composed of an unknown number of leaders who ignored each other's identities. Our guy's only contact was his superior, a ruthless fighter going by the name of Coda. The prisoner had also divulged Umbra's main plan. Their aim was to genetically modify the dollar flu virus to make it lethal to plants, using swarms of insects to spread the infection on the world's main crop supplies. They wanted to blame the subsequent food crisis and millions of casualties on governments, using the power vacuum to bring their organization to power. That was everything she could get out of them. It was now up to Anna to see what she could find in the leader's communication device. We had found the infected shipments. Umbra had stored them in a secret terminal at the periphery of the airport. Our attack had prevented them from loading the planes. They had abandoned the terminal along with all the crates. Or at least we thought. One crate was missing. We couldn't let it get away. Montagny told Isaac the plane was too far to be stopped now. But Isaac was probably the best sniper we had ever met. He knew perfectly what he was doing. We couldn't have stopped the plane, but we now knew where it was going. We had finally found the very last shipment of the virus, and didn't take any risks with it. We had foiled Umbra's main plan, but it wasn't over. We needed to find their lab to destroy their genetic engineering capabilities and get our hands on Coda. Hopefully, Sam was about to lead us to our ultimate assault. He had traced back the location of their hidden high-tech lab to Nagoya, and the lab was apparently in safe custody. Sam had a clear visual on Coda. She was on site. For the first time, we had a unique opportunity to destroy every piece of their work on the virus, and cut off the snake's head and kill her, once and for all. It was over. The lab was in flames. Coda was down. We had finally gained the initiative, or so we thought. Even as she was dying in Sam's arms, Coda still would not wipe the smirk off her face. In her last breath, she told us it was too late, that there was no stopping the irresistible force of Umbra. Instead of the pride of victory, we couldn't help but feel unease, like the worst was yet to come. This is where we're at. There's no covering up the facts. The situation is ugly. We still don't know who they are, where they are, and what their next move will be. They will stop at nothing to...
Good evening to all. What a pleasure it is to see you all assembled in this darkest hour, as the very system which gave you so much is crumbling into dust. I will always be surprised to see you all so united and concerned when your own interests come to be threatened. Here you are, gathered, comfortably seated in your luxurious tower, ready to decide how many men you will send to their death to protect your petty privileges and your corrupted friends. What is left of your world must expire, along with all of its worst components, to enable a new beginning. We will not fall back. We will not negotiate. We are Umbra. We are the New World Order.
We are the New World Order!
As I said, it's bad.